Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us discuss the concepts of JDBC, how to establish the connection with the JDBC, and what are the various types of drivers we are having in a JDBC, how to load the drivers, how to establish the connection, how to create a statement object, execute the query, process the result, then close the database connection. This is the overall overview of the database we are having, right? So let us discuss some of the concepts of JDBC, right? So JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. Okay, JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. Okay. Now, before going inside this JDBC, let us take a picture in our mind and how to relate this JDBC concepts with real world applications. Okay. So let us take one example. Okay. So let us take we are in Bangalore. Okay. We are in Bengaluru, right? Let us consider there is some other place. Let us consider there is some other place, X, Y, Z place. Okay. So we are here in Bengaluru, we are there. And in XYZ place, there is another place called as XYZ where we will get gold, where we will get gold for 1 kg for 1 rupees. Okay. So let us assume that. Just have a look at here. We are in Bangalore. There is one more place called as XYZ where we will get gold 1 kg for 1 rupee. Okay, 1 kg for 1 rupee. Don't ask me, sir, where is that place? I will go and get the 1 kg of gold. Don't ask me. We are not having such type of places, right? Let us assume. Okay. Now, see, as a Bangalore people, I don't know the language of this XYZ place. Similarly, these XYZ place people don't know the language of Bangalore, right? Yes or no? So I don't know the language. Similarly, that XYZ place people also don't know the language of Bangalore. But still, I just wanted to buy a gold for 1 rupee, 1 kg of gold. Right. So what I will do? What I will do? I can arrange one translator for me. Right. I can arrange one translator for me who knows both the languages. Means the task of this translator is translate this Bangalore language into this XYZ place language. Again, this XYZ place language into this Bangalore language, right? So when I don't know the language, I need one translator. Okay, I need one translator. Yes, I arranged the translator. No, I am having translator with me. Next, what is there? So what is required? What is required? To I should go from Bangalore to XYZ place, right? So for that, I require one road. One road I require. Okay. So road is there, right? One road I require. So a road is there with me, right? So now I should travel from Bangalore to this XYZ place. So for that, what I need? What I need one vehicle, right? So I can arrange one vehicle, right? So I arranged one vehicle in my place to travel from Bangalore to XYZ place, right? Okay. So let I am going in the vehicle from XYZ place to the sorry from Bangalore to XYZ place. I am going. Okay. My vehicle reached to the XYZ place. My vehicle reached to the XYZ place. So this translator is translating my language into XYZ place language. By understanding this language, what is this? What these people will do? So I am sending the request. I am sending the request in my vehicle. Go and get a 1 kg of gold from XYZ place, right? So once the request reaches here, this XYZ place people they will see the request and they will pack this gold and they will put 1 kg of gold in some box. Okay, they will put this 1 kg of gold inside this box and this box will be placed inside this vehicle. Okay, box will be placed inside this vehicle. Now again the vehicle is traveling back to Bangalore, right? Again the vehicle is traveling back to Bangalore. Now once the vehicle comes here, what we will do, we will take that box and open it and get the gold, right? So this is what happens, right, when we don't know the language of a particular place, right? Sir, you are telling some story. What is this Bangalore? What is translation? Road also you are telling. Some vehicle you are telling. Some box you are telling. How we are going to relate these terms with our JDBC terms, right? Okay. So now let us relate these terms with our JDBC terms so that whether it completes our JDBC process or not. Let us look at here. Okay. So we are inside this Bangalore. Okay. So let us consider this as my Java application. Okay, let us consider this as my Java application. Okay, this is my Java application is there. Right? This is my Java application. Next, what I did, next I arranged the translator, right? Next I arranged the translator, right? So these translators are drivers. Okay, these translators are drivers, which are responsible to convert the Java calls into database calls. Again, the database calls into a Java calls. This is the task of drivers we are having. Okay. Yes, we arrange the drivers also. Next, sir, you told us there is a road. There is a road. What is this road? This road we are having, we will call it as connection. Okay, this road we will call it as a connection. Sir, okay, connection is there, driver is there with us, and application is there. Then you told something called as vehicle, right? Something called as vehicle. What is this vehicle? This vehicle is a statement object. Okay, this vehicle is a statement object. What is the task of this statement object? Just to carry the query or the SQL query from the Java application to the database. Sir, where is database here? Where is database here? This XYZ place is there, no? This XYZ place. So it is your database. So inside this database, we are having gold for 1 kg, 1 rupee. Okay, right? So here we are having database. Now, whatever the request SQL query, whatever the SQL query we are writing, this that query has to be carried from the Java application to the database. Again, carry the result back from database to the Java application. That is the task of your statement object. Kindly remember. So if you remember this particular diagram, then the complete JDBC concept, 90% of your JDBC concepts are completed. Okay. So what is the task of statement object? To carry the SQL query from the Java application to the database, again get the results from database and carry that to the Java application. Okay. Now, sir, you told that there is one box here. There is one box, right? So this box we will call it as result set. Okay, this box we will call it as result set. Okay, so once the query reaches this database, that query will be executed, and the results what we are getting, that results will be placed inside this box. Results will be placed inside this box. What is this box? Box is the result set. Now, so once a box is ready, that box is placed inside this vehicle. So means we are placing the result set inside the statement object. Inside the statement object. Now, the statement object will carry this box back to the Java application, and the Java application receives this box and gets the results from the database. Clear? Okay, so this is what the complete process of our database we are having. This is the complete process of our database. So just observe here. We are having a Java application is there, drivers are there, connection is there, database is there, and the vehicle we will call it as a statement object. And next we are having the result box. Okay, result set. We will call it as a result set. Clear? Any doubt? Any doubt? Any doubt? Okay, you should remember this one. Java application is there. Next drivers are there. Next connection object, right? Next database is there. Statement object is there. Result set is there. So now from now onwards, we are going to study in detail about all these. What is driver? What are the various types of drivers we are having? What is the connection? How to establish the connection to the database? What is the statement object? How many types of statement objects are there? What is this result set? how to fetch the details from the result set. Okay, so this is what your JDBC chapter talks about. This is what your complete the JDBC process which happens from the Java application to the database. Okay, you can just take this diagram a snapshot so that you can see that once you see that in future if I get a result set concept, then usually you can understand what is this result set. Okay, what is this result set, what is this statement object, what is this driver, what is this connection, right? Clear? Any doubt is there? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so now let us go inside this JDBC, then we'll see how this JDBC will be working. Okay. Okay. Now, what is this JDBC? So just observe here. It stands for Java Database Connectivity, right? So consists of a collection of classes and interfaces written in Java programming languages. Written in Java programming languages. So it is an API for connecting the Java program to the data in the database. We just once we go through with these theory concepts, you can relate these theory concepts with that particular image which I showed just now. Okay, so JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. So it contains a collection of classes and interfaces are written by using the Java programming language, and it is an API, and it is an API for connecting the Java program to the data in the relational database, Okay, all these Java classes are contained inside this Java.SQL package. All these Java classes are contained inside the Java.SQL package. Okay. Next, before this APIs like JDBC and ODBC, database connectivity was tedious. Okay, so kindly observe here. Before APIs like JDBC and ODBC, database connectivity was tedious. Tedious means it was very difficult. Why? Because several persons are giving several databases of their own, right? When my application needs to connect to that database, I need some standard version, right? Uh, yes or no? I cannot write the database specific code in my program for different types of databases. Okay, so what I will do, just I will write the general common connection code, right? Establish connection establishment code, so that let the DBMS define its own low level way to interact with the programs to access the data stored inside the database. Okay, right. So what is this a low level code? It is a code written to communicate with the Oracle database, might need to be rewritten to access the Sybase database. That is what I told. When we are having a different set of code for a different set of databases, as a programmer, how to write a different set of code for different purposes, right? So what it is specifying, you just write a low level code. Okay, just write a low level code which is required to communicate with the Oracle database. That might be not needed, or it might be needed to rewrite to access any other type of database. Okay, this was the problem before this APIs we were facing. That is before the JDBC and the ODBC. Means the connectivity database code for connecting the database, it was different from one database type to another database type. Next, that was a major problem, right? So next we need one common type of API which will connect to the database, right? So that is what the use of this JDBC drivers. Okay. Now, next, what are the various types of JDBC drivers we are having? What are the various types of JDBC drivers? So basically, we are having four types of drivers are there. One is JDBC to ODBC driver, that is type 1. Type 2, Java or native code driver. Type 3, JDBC driver, and type 4, JDBC driver. Okay. So basically, we are having four types of JDBC drivers. Observe very carefully. This is very important question. Okay. List and explain. JDBC drivers. List and explain JDBC drivers. We are having four different types of JDBC drivers are there. First one, JDBC to ODBC driver, Java or native code driver, type 3 JDBC driver, type 4 JDBC driver. Okay, type 4 JDBC. See, observe here, type 1 JDBC driver, JDBC to ODBC driver, type 2, that is Java or native code driver, type 3 JDBC driver, type 4 JDBC driver. We will see one by one. What is this? Type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4. Okay. So the first one is type 1 JDBC to ODBC driver. Okay. So it was first introduced by Microsoft and it was the first company to create a DBMS independent database program. DBMS independent database program. Kindly observe it very clearly. It says database independent. So what I told earlier, this there was a problem that we should write the DBMS code different for different types of databases, right? We should write code, low level code to connect to the database, which was different from one database to another type. But with this JDBC to ODBC driver, Microsoft has created that DBMS independent database program. Once we write the database program, it is independent of all other remaining JDBC database programs we are having. Means even for Oracle you can use the same, Sybase we can use the same. Okay, so like that. So this driver is also called as JDBC ODBC bridge. Okay, JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. ODBC stands for Open Database Connectivity. Okay, ODBC stands for Open Database Connectivity. So it is also this of type 1 is also called as JDBC to ODBC bridge. Okay, for what purpose it is used? It is used to translate DBMS calls between JDBC specification and the ODBC specification. Okay, it is used to translate JDBC calls between this JDBC and the ODBC specification. Okay, so this JDBC driver receives the message from Day2EE component. These messages are then translated by JDBC to ODBC driver into ODBC message format, which is then translated into message format understood by the DBMS. So just see, it is acting as a bridge between the application and the database. First, Open Database Connectivity code is translated into a message format which is understood by the DBMS. This is what the task of the first JDBC to ODBC driver. Okay, so what is the drawback we are having in this type? Extra translation might impact performance in mission critical systems. Okay, in mission critical systems, just observe. Okay, when we need to execute a particular set of tasks within particular set of time, then if it takes some extra time, if it takes some extra time, then automatically we are going to fail in a mission, right? In that particular mission type of systems, this extra translation, since there is a translation from JDBC to ODBC, again ODBC to JDBC, so it requires some more performance issues, right? So hence this was a major drawback we are facing with the type 1 driver. Next, type 2 driver, that is Java or native code driver. Okay, so it is uses this Java classes to generate a platform specific code. Okay, that is the code understood only by a specific DBMS. Just observe here, this Java or native code driver we will use to generate a Java, this one platform specific code. Platform specific code, that is the code which is understood only by a specific DBMS. Oracle means only Oracle database can understand that particular code. To generate such type of code, we will use this type 2 Java or native code driver. Okay, so now the manufacturers of this DBMS will provide both Java native code driver and the API class so that a J2EE component can generate this sorry. Okay, the manufacturers of DBMS will provide both Java or native code driver and API classes so that a J2EE component can generate a platform specific code, right? So this is a type 2 driver we are having. Next is a type 3. You just observe in the first one, conversion should happen from JDBC to ODBC, again ODBC to JDBC. Whereas in the second one, it says it generates the database specific code. Database specific code. Whereas what is this type 3 says, so it is also referred as a Java protocol. Type 3 driver is also referred as a Java protocol. Okay. So it converts SQL queries into JDBC formatted statements. You just observe here. We are not converting the entire code. Just it will convert only SQL. You just observe. Type 3 JDBC driver converts SQL queries into JDBC formatted statements. Okay. Next, these JDBC formatted statements are then translated into a required a format of the DBMS. Okay, this is what we are having, type 3 JDBC driver. Next, we are having fourth type, that is type 4 JDBC driver. It is also called as a database protocol. Okay, the SQL queries are translated into the format required by the DBMS, and this is the fastest way to communicate with SQL queries to the DBMS. So now we can come to a conclusion, which is the most useful driver we are having. Fourth one, right? It is the fastest way to communicate SQL queries to the DBMS. Okay, why? Because SQL queries are translated into the format which is required by the DBMS. Okay, so this is what four types of drivers we are having. First one, type 1 JDBC ODBC driver. Second one, type 2 Java or native code driver. Type 3 JDBC driver. Type 4 JDBC driver. Okay, clear? So we are having basically four types of drivers. So these drivers are the translators. These drivers are the translators which are responsible to translate our Java calls into database specific calls. Again, the database specific calls into a Java calls. Okay, clear? Is there any doubt with this one?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so next I will see what are the various packages we are having in JDBC. Okay, we are having this JDBC API is contained inside the two packages. One is java.sql package is there, other one is a javax.sql package is there. You just observe javax.sql and java.sql. Okay, these are the two packages we are having where the JDBC API is stored. Okay, so what is this java.sql package? So it contains the core data objects of the JDBC API, and these objects are include Java data objects, which will provide the basics for connecting to the DBMS. Kindly observe here. Basics for connecting to the DBMS means the basic Java data objects which are required for establishing the connection to the DBMS. All those are stored inside the java.sql package. So once it is connected, then to interact the data stored inside the DBMS, we need some classes, right? So all those are stored inside the java.sql package. Okay, next we are having javax.sql package. Again, here also it also stores this Java data objects which will interact with the Java naming and directory interface, which will interact with Java naming and directory interface and the Java data objects that manage the connection pooling among other advanced DBMS features. Okay, so this is these are the data objects which will be stored inside this javax.sql, and the objects which are required for connecting to the DBMS and interacting with the data stored inside the DBMS. But these data objects, these Java data objects are stored inside the java.sql package. Okay, So these are the two packages where all these Java API or JDBC APIs are stored. Kindly remember, very simple topic. So we are having two packages, java.sql and javax.sql. Next, very important. Explain the JDBC process. Explain the JDBC process. Explain the JDBC process. So the JDBC process includes 5 stages. First one, load JDBC drivers. Second one, once the drivers has been loaded, then we should establish the connection to the database. After establishing the connection, we will create and execute the statement. Okay, so once you just observe here, you can relate this with the picture which we discussed. So create and execute statement object. So once it is done, statement object, what will be there inside the statement object? Result set will be there. Next, we should process the data returned by the DBMS. Finally, we are closing or terminating the connection with the database, right? So this is the complete process or procedure we should follow when we are interacting or when the Java application is interacting with the DBMS. So first step, what we should do, kindly remember this, where 5 steps are very important. In all the programs, we should follow these 5 steps. First one, load the driver. First one, load the driver. Later we will see what are the methods which are required to load the driver and how to load the drivers. The process includes 5 stages. First stage, load the driver. Second stage, establish the connection to the DBMS. Establish the connection to the DBMS. Once the connection is established, then you can create and execute SQL statements, right? You can create and execute statements. Once the statements are executed, then the DBMS will automatically place the result into the result set object, right? That will be carried by the statement object from XYZ place to Bengaluru. I hope you remember this one, right? Now, once the results are reached to the Java application, now our application should process this data returned by the DBMS. Finally, once the task is completed, we can terminate the connection with the DBMS. We can terminate the connection with the DBMS. Clear? Clear? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
You can just see. So load the drivers, establish the connection, create and execute the statement object, create and execute the statement object. So once this statement object is executed, results are placed inside the result set. So result set will be reached to this Java application. So read and process these results. Finally, terminate the connection with the database. Finally, terminate the connection with the database. Clear? So these steps, 5 steps you should remember when we need to store data inside the DBMS, or if I need to fetch the data from the database, these 5 steps compulsorily I should follow. That is, load the drivers, establish the connection, prepare and execute statements, process the results, and close the termination or close the connection with the DB. Okay, so these are the 5 steps we should follow when we want to execute database related programs. Okay.